We're on the chase for that mysterious cloaked figure back in Green Pass. Because don't worry, we haven't forgotten about this just yet.
Not just yet, but we're still we're still in this moss-infested cesspit.
And we're gonna start reaching.
I don't think
we're
it's
gonna start reaching.
Sorry, go ahead.
Toll machines. We're reaching toll machines now.
Huh.
Toll machines.
Just pay some of your geo, which again, be very careful. If you die, you lose all your geo. They're basically the souls from Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's that much of a cesspool. It looks kind of pretty.
It looks like it would be super humid though.
It looks
No, yeah.
surprisingly. I was gonna say it looks surprisingly well kept for a post-apocalyptic hell.
For bugs.
For bugs, I mean, so I guess I should say, like, same thing with Dark Souls. The idea is that what happened is that it's not quite post-apocalyptic yet, but it's very close to that in the sense of like, okay, actually, I guess you have a point.
It's like during the apocalypse.
It's post-apocalyptic. It's post-apocalyptic in that there once was a kingdom here, and that whole kingdom is dead now.
Yeah.
Because
So it's
something
more like
happened.
a mid-apocalyptic. Why is that name so difficult hard to say?
Let's just say that as far as this particular portion of the bug kingdom is concerned, it's straight up fucked.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Moss Knight.
Oh yeah.
I've had you, good sir.
Don't go.
Don't mind me.
I
Don't mind me.
remember the first time I fought these things. I figured maybe this would be another one of those important figures, but no, it's just they're just introducing us to another one of those meaty move types.
These guys have shields, so you gotta be careful. I'm going to heal up now. But yeah, no, it's there used to be a kingdom. Something's happening that I'll explain more when it gets more plot relevant. But everyone's starting to lose their minds, and it's the kind of thing of like, I don't want to describe. I know a movie's covered it before, but it's like, it's the difference between, you know what? Just off the top of my head, I'm so sorry, stupid comparison, but it makes sense. It's like comparing, like in Madagascar, comparing like, you know, the animals from the zoo to say the Fusa.
Oh yeah.
And I've
just
only
one
seen
of
that
them is-
movie once.
No worries.
I've seen it like maybe
It's,
2 or 3 times. I think I am due for a revisit.
I think it's aged fairly well.
I think the trilogy overall is fun.
Well, the first one I think is a fairly harmless good film. The third film is insane, but kind of fun in how insane it is. I'm not particularly fond of the second one though.
The second one I think has some good parts to it.
I haven't seen the second one.
Like, I love the bit with when the old lady gets thrown from the jeep. And it's like, is she dead? And she gets up and he's like, no! And he floors it to ram her. To make sure. But it's just cartoon violence anyway. So this is a character who I'm glad and I also hate.
Just what do you think you're doing? You dare to come between me and my prey? Is it a habit of yours to scurry about, getting in the way and causing bother?
This is Zote the Mighty.
Note this, cur. I am Zote the Mighty, a knight of great renown. Cross me again and you'll find out why they call my weapon Life Ender.
Now get off my Bobby, mate.
So, just gonna say over this line, yeah, Zote's full of shit. He has never killed anything in his life. He is a scum. He's a scumbag in the sense of he's so self-absorbed with himself.
He's literally... Actually, I guess in some regard, you could just say he's a glass gel.
He's high off his own fumes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or high up the fumes of the land itself.
He's like he's like anti-Papyrus. Like Papyrus actually tries and somewhat succeeds. Like,
wait, anti-Papyrus, so he's Sans?
No, okay.
I'm kidding, of course.
Well, I think she means like same drive, different personality.
Yeah, Papyrus usually is a bit humble, at least.
A little bit.
To some extent.
About as humble as Papyrus.
Probably not a great comparison. It made me. He's more positive and upbeat.
I guess. So I'm gonna get myself a little shortcut here. But first, I'm gonna unlock with some geo before I die. I'm gonna unlock this the stag station.
Well, actually, no way. Papyrus is half humble. He thinks he's amazing, but he thinks everyone else is amazing too.
Just not as amazing as he is.
But it's still an amazing.
There's some encouragement there, as opposed to being.
There's not much negativity in terms of that his character.
And he actually can be tough when he wants to be.
Right, Zote, you're gonna see, is not tough. No. He's tough in his mind, but that's the thing. Like I gotta admire that to some extent. There's like, to a fault, he is so like assured of himself,
Actually,
even when the chips are down.
now that I think about it, he kind of reminds me more of Cyan from Tail Concerto.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It is kind of like, he is kind of like Cyan, except
He thinks he's such hot shit, but in reality, he's actually nothing more than a peon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. I guess.
You agree,
Yeah,
not
that is
knowing
true.
who exactly we're talking about.
No, I know Cyan.
No, I'm talking about Natalie.
No. I mean, it makes sense. I'm agreeing because it makes sense for that for the kind
Right.
of character that you're describing.
Yeah, it's like he's also but yeah, you know those characters where he's like, oh, he's all talk, but the second he's faced with something, he completely wimps
He
out.
cowers.
He's that kind of guy.
He straight up, dude. He straight up.
Oh.
Come
That's
no
weak.
closer, ghost.
Yeah, I was about to make my point. And now we got our next big.
I've seen
important
you
character.
creeping through the undergrowth, stalking me.
Hey,
I don't even know
I
who
like
you are,
stalking.
lady.
This old
Hi.
kingdom, a
Context.
terrible thing awakens. I can smell it in the air.
I'm sorry, that was me.
Anchovies. I know what you are. I know what you try to do. I can't allow it.
This is hey everybody. This is
Have at
Hornet,
you.
who's gonna.
Hi,
This is
Hornet.
Hornet, who's gonna be in Silk Song.
Yep, she's the main character of that game.
And her name is Hornet?
Dumb.
Yep. I love the idea of what she is, where she is wielding a sewing needle like a spear.
Yeah. It looks
I'm sorry,
like,
like-
it looks like a lance. But
I'm
yeah.
sorry, just the time you took the heal, like she was like kneeling and it looked like you were powering up. It looked like you were about to turn into a DBZ fight.
Yeah, no. So all boss battles have that kind of thing where if you deal enough damage, you'll kind of like you'll stagger them, which gives you a chance to heal, or gives you a chance to deal more damage if you're feeling riskier.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
kind of what I do, and that costed me a few
Oh,
deaths.
I
Yeah, you
just
see what I
noticed.
did
I just noticed in the background. It looks like she's skewered
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah, she's been she looks like she's been fighting other people because she's trying to stop something. But she stopped her.
You changed your hair, so what?
Oh wait! Oh, she fled. Oh, but the person fell over. And thus we finally get ourselves some movement that I like working with, because I love this game for that. It increases your mobility.
We
Now
finally
can
got our
do-
Mega Man X dash.
Yep. You can do it once before touching the ground again.
Oh,
Whoa.
jeez, what
Whoa!
That was a dash.
Seek to break the seals. What? Who is this guy? They cannot be undone.
the self-destruction has been
They
activated?
must be undone.
One of my better ideas.
Let Sleepless Shadow return to your darkness. Allow us our peace. We'll find out who those guys are later. That was technically 3 voices. Yeah, these 3.
Oh.
Oh! Did we see symbols of them?
Yes,
In
we
the
did.
beginning?
You're right. Those three masks were the 3 masks that those things
I
were
will be
wearing.
right
which
back, guys.
no
All
worries.
right.
The 3 masks those things were wearing were the same 3 masks that are on the door of that giant black egg temple thingy, where all the noise was out.
Whoops!
Acid, where all the noise was coming out. I almost said all the noise.
All annoyed.
All the noise.
They're all after after Domino's Pizza.
I've thought of playing that game for this channel, Yonoid 2.
Really?
Oh yeah, the fan game.
That's actually really surprisingly competent.
It is.
Huh.
Just really weird and weird too. Like it's a straight up acid trip. Also, there's a
They make
dedicated
it
dab button.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, it's Squirrel again.
Make one.
Seems we both strayed far from the path. Talking about Dusty Old Highway. So yeah, so those 3 masks, those three characters we saw are going to be really important later on. James, I think you were talking about something regarding the wimpy characters and stuff before that whole boss thing happened.
It's kind of irrelevant at this point, so I'll just leave it at that.
Fair enough. And yeah, we will definitely be facing Hornet again in the future. She's she's definitely a big role. There's definitely a reason why they want her to at some point be a playable character, but then I still love that whole freaking like development of that where we just want to do like a Mega Man X, or we want to do like a freaking like play as a new character kind of thing. Hey, get off
Hey, I
freaking asset.
was sitting here.
I was minding
No.
my own business, and you come up here
Oh, I'm dead.
and do that to me.
And do that if I wasn't retired, I'd do that. Yeah, showing signs of wear. Yeah. Quirrell here was like, oh, I wonder if that guy's friendly. I just come back in, blood all dripping on the nail. Yeah, he's not friendly.
Yeah, he's certainly not friendly.
But yes.
And yeah, he makes a good point because our nail, I mean, it gets us through the worst of it, but it's very much worn out.
Which is why we are now on a quest to find ourselves a little nailsmith who can hopefully make our nail even stronger. But yes.
So we're off to find a perm.
Yes. And then I went back to the stag station. I'll try and cut out as much of the backtracking as I can because, you know, as Metroidvanias go, this one's map is fairly large.
Yeah, and very, well, non-linear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, there's not a clear-cut path for you to follow, kind of like the actual Metroid games, where, if you notice back when we did Metroid Zero Mission, I don't remember doing an awful lot of cutting out in and out in that game, just because, well, for one thing, that game is fast-paced as all get out, and secondly, the path you have to tread just to beat the game is honestly pretty railroaded.
The game, okay, not to immediately make another Dark Souls comparison. Dark Souls, I like to think at some points is kind of like a Metroidvania in some areas, but
it's
like
a Metroidvania in 3D.
In some regards, yes. So this game does not. Yeah, this game definitely does not hold your hand a lot. It's really up to you to explore the world at your pace, find the things that work. Also, now that I have the dash, I can get past these guys, and I can dash around obstacles like this. If I touch spikes, I immediately get warped back to the start of the room. So they're not insta kill, but it can get in the way of platforming challenges. But I get a new charm that I like.
Horns of Agony.
This will, if someone deals damage to me, once I equip it, if someone deals damage to me, it'll be like a little automatic counterattack directly around me. Like
So those were
pretty much.
literal lightning bugs.
Oh yes.
I wanted to point that out.
Those who stray from the White King's road shall face the law of on. And like, sorry, one last comparison.
I'm sorry, real quick. I just realized White King's Trail of. Oh, that's immediately what I first thought when I read that.
Yeah, the last comparison I'll make is that, like Dark Souls, this game, once again, the game doesn't tell you a lot of the plot. It's up to you to kind of figure it out for yourself by, like, you know, looking at environment clues and like reading the texts and stuff.
I think I've already said this before, but, I mean, hey, I'll say it again just because, well, if it's not immediately obvious, we kind of space out whenever we do these parts. But, like, it doesn't really hold your hand, but at the same time, it gives you just the necessary tools to make it, to prevent it from being what I would consider, archaic.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Actually,
This is no Zelda 2 or Metroid NES.
Welcome to hell.
Fog Canyon.
Fog Canyon.
Oh boy.
Because of this!
Oh,
So
shit.
these jellyfish are not hostile towards me, but I have to get past some of them. And when you hit the big ones,
They
their
send like a
core,
homing bond towards you?
Yeah,
Yes.
the core that's inside that jellyfish will fly away from me, hit a wall, and then recoil towards me with great force. And
Logan, again, you have to bounce off the tops.
and all explosions deal two damage, which again that's another thing about this game is 2 damage is the most that any attack can be dealt to you, but it means that it's pretty devastating if you keep taking a lot of hits.
So don't take them.
Actually, for some reason, I was just thinking, like, the fact that they kind of attack you back, the big ones kind of attack you back if you hop on them. I get the feeling that that's just their way of saying, like, oh, you want to hop on me? How would you like it if I hop on you?
Hey, how the hell did you get here so fast?
I took let's just imagine that when I was on those benches I just like passed out for a second, like, oh, what the the bugs of Hallness. You'll see a lot of some of these bugs get around here like surprisingly like quickly compared to what we are, but and I guess they've been at this longer. I don't know, like, not much is known about our character, not an age, not a gender, not a like level of expertise.
I mean, I did say earlier this character looks like a lost child.
Kind
And
of.
I was just...
Whoa, what are you?
And I was just saying, like, the whole idea of, like, this guy has no age, this guy has no gender. I was gonna make a joke about how, like, that means the fanfic writers have nothing to mess up.
So this is Willow, and she likes to eat fungus
that's
off
Cody.
fungi off the ceiling.
Willow
Hey,
also likes to bark.
Willow, yes. That would be funny. Just like, neither place seems particularly welcoming. Like just in the
Yeah,
middle of conversation
I
randomly.
have to babysit the boy.
It's
Aw,
okay.
hello,
It does
Cody.
occasionally with this. Let's get the next stag station because I like fast traveling. But yeah, Willow. There's a lot of side characters that really are of no consequence to the plot. Like nothing. Like they don't even like change their dialogue throughout the whole like.
Would you say Willow
quest.
is another one of those characters that's pretty much one note?
Pretty much one note. We can learn something later that is interesting about Willow's situation, but Willow herself does not change. There's also a number of characters. I think I've already said this. Yeah, there's a number of characters who were designed by Kickstarter backers, and you can turn it on and off in the settings, but I'm leaving it on. If we encounter a character who was designed by a backer,
their name will be above them.
It'll be below their name in the lower left.
Ah, okay.
So I like the idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they shaped the plot very much, but I do think I think they had cookie cutter characters, and they said, all right, we just need a design to go with this character in their dialogue, and then they let the Kickstarter backers do it.
They're just there to help the scenery and nothing more.
We're too lazy to design characters. How about you do it for us?
Isn't that what Drawn? Isn't that
Oh,
what
hey,
Drawn to
that's
Life did?
pretty much what fueled a good chunk of the Mega Man games.
Hey, Zote.
Hey.
Hi, you bastard.
You there? Are you skulking about in the shadows?
Why did you become Scottish suddenly, Zote?
Because I just remembered my heritage.
Okay.
It just came back to me after I took that thunk to the head earlier. Thanks for that.
I just imagine walking up onto the surface, now able to see in the dim light that he all this time underneath that like shawl he was wearing, a kilt. He's like, oh, that's right.
I'm Scottish.
Well, I'm wearing a kilt, all right. Okay.
A cute.
Laddie lives on as a cankerous old bug.
Yeah.
That would explain my sudden thirst for. What would be the closest thing to this world's equivalent of beer?
Nectar?
Nectar? Yeah, I guess nectar. This is where we ran out of budget.
Well, there's mead, which is basically honey mixed with beer.
Yeah, it could be just alcoholic honey.
Actually, now that I think back on it, like I already made this comparison, but the acidic pools in the mossy area honestly just looks like Sprite.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I thought they looked
Kinda.
like Mountain Dew.
In a way, you could also argue that could just make for some pretty interesting.
Actually-
These pools, like you can just pour a cup of them, and there you go, instant grog.
Anyway,
guys-
just if
Yes,
I
go ahead.
could just going back to that notion of like honey mixed with liquor, I'm really sorry, Allie, but having that in my mind just gives me this mental image of like, oh, this honey makes my tummy especially rumbly.
Oh God.
No, this
No.
honey burns going down.
Hey there, Pooh Bear. What you got there?
No.
No.
I'm actually being very serious about this.
Don't-
I once saw a Newgrounds animation about this exact thing. I saw a Newgrounds animation about this exact same thing, and oh
Don't
gosh, I
change
don't
my
remember
childhood icon, please.
Well, hey, all I would say is that if Tigger took a swig of that, he'd just be going all day.
Don't
Yeah.
Well,
don't you
no,
listen,
because
Allie.
I can't believe you're making me think about this, but no, it would do the opposite because beer is a depressant. It's not a
He would just
stimulant.
So actually, you know what? Actually, in that case, if it's a depressant and it makes like Tigger depressive, what do you think that would do with Eeyore? With
Oh
like the
God,
depressive
no! I
counter-
don't want to think about that.
no.
Well,
That's
hear me
extreme.
out.
Just be
hear
fucking
me
smiling
out.
all day.
No, hear me out. What if it counteracts Eeyore's depressiveness and it actually turns him into a chipper happy soul?
He finally reaches the end of the negative spectrum and reaches positive again, and becomes infinitely positive. That still seems weird. Also, these bouncy mushrooms are cool in that if you do the old Scrooge McDuck downward attack on them, you can go much higher. Also, don't forget that Jim Cummings outright had Tigger say he likes big butts and he cannot lie.
Well, that's because
Yeah,
Thomas
mention the
Sanders
way they
forced him
loose.
to.
True.
Also,
but like, yeah,
Jeez.
Whoa!
These guys are all this fungus
If it-
spores everywhere.
if it's for a panel, I make an exception.
Also, I love these
That's
things.
just her
'cause the
coping
silly sounds
mechanism.
of it.
And she sees the Thomas Sanders video and she's like, "It's only for a panel. It's only for a panel."
Also,
I'm sorry. The way these balloon-like ant bugs like die is like that's just me imagining like Gwee's mind when I bring up the whole. What if Tigger took a swig of that stuff? Like,
Honestly, I thought that
it's
was
a
her
silly
idea
sound.
of the idea of like the beer canceling out Eeyore's negativity.
well, that
But
too.
you know what? If it was
See ya. Nice.
again, I can't believe you're making me think about this. But if it was mead, which is honey mixed with beer, he would outright hate it because he hates honey.
That
He'd
is
hate
true.
that.
He would not touch
Tigger
it. He
Yeah, Tigger
hates
does
honey.
hate honey. He
But
does.
what if it,
He
but what
does.
if, but what if the beer and it cancels out the taste of the honey?
It wouldn't. Trust me.
No,
It's
no.
sugar
the
on
whole
sugar.
point of the whole point of the mead is that they don't want it to taste like alcohol.
So wait,
Which actually
if it's sugar on sugar, then wouldn't that mean that Tigger doesn't like sugar?
I do want to try that one day. I want to go to that Harry Potter
You know
themed
what?
place. And I want to go to that Harry Potter themed place in Universal Studios and get butterbeer. Because I guess they do make it. Oh, I love these guys.
Oh, these
Don't.
guys.
They make the silliest sounds. They're so-
Even when they die.
But they just... Love it.
Anyway, what was it you were gonna say, Glee?
Oh, I actually just remembered the reason Tigger hates honey is because of how sticky it is.
Yeah, I remember he tried it once in the first movie and did
Yeah,
not
because
care
it's
for
like at first he's like, "Oh, Tiggers love honey. Tiggers hate honey."
it. Do not like honey.
Yeah, no, he
there's a
hates
lot.
it because it's all sticky.
Yeah,
Who
but I
voiced
just love
Tigger?
the.
Wait, was it Jim Cummings back then, or
No,
somebody
Jim
called-
Cummings
No.
is his second voice. Back then, he was voiced by Paul Winchell.
Yeah.
He voiced him like for a long time. He like
Oh, yeah, he
even
did.
even like he voiced him like in the original shorts. He even voiced him in the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh back in the late '80s.
Yeah.
He
well,
voiced him in like a good chunk of them before. I think he voiced him in like half the series, and then Jim filled in for the other half.
yeah,
That
because
makes
like they
sense.
were.
What?
Because I think
In
they
fact,
knew.
actually,
I think he knew. Well, I think that they knew he was gonna pass away soon. So they they brought on Jim Cummings to kind of phase him out so that
well,
people
actually,
Shortcut.
would be more
That's
would get used to him.
that's also another thing. Now that you that you brought that up, a bit of a fun trivia.
Oh,
Winchell-
hold on real quick. We got ourselves a bit of a double slobber knocker here.
These are the mushroom golems, and they
Oh,
spit
boy.
out that weird corruption stuff again.
And they literally are slobber knockers because they use their own fucking heads as hammers.
It's like
So
the
they're
freaking
hammerheads.
headbangers. Yeah,
I was
remind
about
me
to
of
say,
the
wouldn't
head.
that make them noggin knockers then?
Noggin
Remind me of the
knockers.
headbangers from Brutal Legend, and they're not. Nice. And for our reward, we get ourselves a charm notch,
And-
which
Oh!
again, all
From-
charms take a certain number of notches, and that means I can potentially equip another one.
So I forgot for a moment that they were not insects.
No,
Oh, they're
it's
fungi.
weird. Like you'll fight against a lot of things. Also, backing up a bit, why the heck are there jellyfish in this game?
Yeah.
Jellyfish, they're not insects.
No, yeah, my
not
brain
insects
didn't
at
really
all.
register. Oh, they're not insects.
Oh no, none of this makes sense.
I-
None of this adds up at all.
Whatever superstitious sort of hoo-ha is happening in this game is just. It doesn't have to be just bugs. It could also be whatever the heart desires. But in that case, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, see you all for the next part.
But
you have a good
guys.
point. See you,
Hopefully,
everybody.
by
Oh,
then I'll remember what I was about to say before I got interrupted.
Yeah, the rules of this place don't make any sense. Oh, sup, Mario?